I'm glad I paid attention. Ooh, hold on. What's happening? Happy Tuesday Takeover, guys. We are live. Please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. This is our weekly Tuesday Takeover where we talk about a variety of reality TV news and pop culture news. As you saw from the thumbnail, we have a lot to talk about. This is our very first Tuesday Takeover of 2023. So there's a lot to unpack, a lot to break down. I know you have opinions. We will be taking some callers at the end of this. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the video, be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. Shout out to our Team Kempire, Royal Court, and Senior Royal members of the channel. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I'm live here from New York City, a great day here in New York City. I know our friends over in California are getting record-breaking rainfall numbers. It almost never rains in Los Angeles. However, my gosh, they usually have droughts, but too much rain is also not that great either. Anyways. So we have a lot to unpack. We have to talk about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, the tell-all, which I hyped it up and I said, you know what? It's going to be a 4-part bonanza of something they've never done before. And I don't know, y'all. I might be over 90 Day Fiancé in general. Ugh. All right, let me see where you guys are watching from. Hold on. LA's in the building. Crooklyn's in the building. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Georgia's in the building. Hey, Janice. What's going on? I saw the other Janice is in here too. What's going on, everyone? Let me see. I'm live here in Paris in rainy French day, okay? Austin, Texas is in the building. More Texas is in the building. Marvin says it's pouring. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Canada's in the building. The Bronx is in the building. Wisconsin's in the building. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Janice, there you are. Oklahoma's in the building. Hey, Gene, what's going on? Hold on. I'm trying to get to everybody. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if West Virginia's in the building. Okay, all right. North Dakota. Peekskill, New York. Haven't been there in years. West Africa's in the building. What's going on? Hold on, wait a minute. Maryland's in the building. Michigan's in the building. Philly's in the building. Okay, Ottawa's in the building. All right. London's in the building, okay. Albuquerque, New Mexico's in the building, okay. Welcome, guys, welcome. Hold on, let me put up my stuff. I almost forgot to put up my stuff. And I know some of you are still judging me because I have my Christmas stuff up. I'm waiting for my container so I had to get a new container to put my ornaments in because the other one broke. So that's the only reason why this is still here. I was going to move it out of frame, but I said, let me bring a little holiday cheer on this Tuesday Takeover. So don't be a Scrooge. Don't be a Scrooge. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn's in the building, Kansas City's in the building, Hampton, Virginia, Manchester, UK, Celebration, Florida. I didn't know there was a city called Celebration, Florida. Okay. Okay. Julie says Buffalo, New York, and Damar Hamlin is home. Yes, we heard yesterday. Kentucky, what's going on? Atlanta, love it, guys. All right. Shout out to everyone that's watching from around the world. We appreciate you guys. As always, don't forget, if you're a part of the replay crew, we want to know where you're watching from and your thoughts on all of the reality TV news that we're talking about, reality TV recaps that we're talking about, and pop culture news. As you know, we have to talk about Prince Harry's new book, Spare, that comes out today, right? It came out today. And we have to talk about his 60 Minutes interview that he did. I watched it. I have thoughts, and I'm sure you have thoughts as well. I'm not going to lie, and I said this before. Part of me wants them to stop talking so that the ignorance from the other side will stop talking. But I get it. That's why they're talking, to combat all the misinformation that's been out there about them. So here we are. Everyone has a right to speak, especially here in America. Just saying. Share your thoughts. All right. But in a constructive way. Where do I want to begin? First off, if you weren't here yesterday for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap, be sure to check that out. But I also made an announcement about Tamara Tattles. So let me just move this over here so you guys can see this first. Hold on, y'all. Let me just move this here. Okay. So for those of you that didn't know, Tamara Tattles is a blog, a reality TV blogger, and she's been around for a very long time. She has been nothing but incredibly supportive of everything that we've done here on YouTube and on other social media platforms. We've first heard about her passing almost 2 days ago. And of course, I like to double, especially when we're reporting on someone passing away, I wanted to make sure I verified that this information was true. Since then, they have taken to her official Instagram and website to confirm that Tamara Tattles has passed away. As we always say in regards to when we report on people dying here on the channel, we always say that it's a reminder to the living to live more fully. And as I said to you before, and a lot of you have been on my Twitter and in my comment section talking about how, yeah, she turned me onto your channel. She loved you so much. And she really did. And our behind the scenes conversations were always so lovely and just so uplifting. There's a lot of negativity in the world, but I am always so surrounded by such positive people in our community and other people that do what I do that have been nothing but uplifting. And Tamara was one of those people. And I know a lot of people that I knew outside of this world of pop culture news and reality TV knew of her blog and read her blog. So when they saw my name on her blog, they were like, oh my God, you're on Tamara Tattles' blog. And I would always say her name incorrectly, but I think I'm saying it correctly now. And she would nicely correct me. Rest in peace, Tamara. Thank you for all of the support and all of the entertainment that you have given to so many people through your blog. I know that there's another vlogger here on YouTube with a similar name. So I just wanted to clarify. We're talking about tamaratattles.com. Again, you can see all of the official announcement on her Instagram. Shout out to her friends, family, and loyal readers and supporters that have been reading her blog for many, many years. All right. Also, last night, guys, on Twitter, I did a surprise Kempire After Dark. And I know you're probably saying, why didn't you make an announcement? Because I didn't know that I was going to do it. And this is why you should be following me on Twitter and have your notifications on. But I also did post it on our Discord, and I posted it on my TikTok story. And I posted it somewhere. Oh, I also posted it on our community tab right before that I went live. And we talked about some of the things that we're going to be talking about here. So it's okay. You didn't miss anything. Now you can see my facial reactions when we talk about certain things. But there were certain things that I can't talk about on TikTok or on YouTube because of community guidelines that we talk about on Twitter. And it was our very first Kempire After Dark of 2023 on Twitter. We hadn't done one in a very long time. So I wanted to do one last night. It is pinned to my profile on Twitter, so you can take a listen and listen to the replay. All right. But we talked a little bit about what's been going on in the Real Housewives world. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. We're also going to talk about Family Karma. And per usual, we're going to be talking about some of the ratings, including Love and Marriage Huntsville's ratings for part 2 of their reunion. We're going to talk about all those things. But if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Very much like our dear friend who's passed away, Tamara Tattles. She shared us with her community. Share us with your community. Big, small, whatever. Sharing does help build what we're trying to do here, both here on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Shout out to everyone that's watching on those platforms. Hey, Minky Finky. She's watching on Twitch. Cheryl Lee's watching from Florida on Facebook. Guyana's in the house. Hey, Nathia. She's watching from Guyana. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Minky's watching from Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook. We appreciate you guys as well. So let me get into what I want to talk about first. Let's first talk about Jen Shah. And I'm briefly going to mention Jen Shah because I'm over Jen Shah at this point. We already did a full report on Jen Shah being sentenced to 6.5 years. If you don't know who Jen Shah is by now, she is a star from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The reunion photo from Salt Lake City came out yesterday. Hold on. Let me bring it up here because it is Tuesday Takeover. Let me see. Do I have it here? It's here somewhere. Look, it's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I know that's not it. Where is it? Damn it. Hold on, y'all. I have so many photos and notes and things like that. I just want to make sure that I have it somewhere here. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Look, here it is, y'all. Okay. And look, we've already talked about how this season of Salt Lake City has been lackluster, even with Jen Shah. So you can imagine without Jen Shah. And you already know Jen Shah was, she decided that she was not going to attend the reunion because she didn't want to answer questions about her legal situation. And she didn't want to jeopardize her sentencing. That was her reasoning for not attending the reunion. We are hearing today that Jen Shah is going to do an interview with Andy Cohen, an exclusive interview to talk more about what's going on with her. Honestly, I think I'm done with Jen Shah. I think I'm done. Like, my community doesn't even, or you guys aren't even engaged. When we report on Jen Shah, you're like, all right. Well, okay, so she was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, all right, with plus 5 years of supervised release. She's asking to be sent to a specific jail in Texas. The judge says, I won't be, I will say send you to Texas, but I'm not going to specify where. Okay. She's also asking to be in an RDAP program, which is an drug addiction program. And a lot of you that are, have experienced some of this stuff says that, if she gets into a program like that, that will take years off her sentence. Don't give it to her. Unless it's a real addiction. So after all this information came out about Jen Shah being sentenced, and a lot of you said that's not enough, especially after you read the victim statements. Okay? This woman, I'm going to say allegedly, although you probably seen the photos, this woman decided here in New York City to host a 20-person dinner at an Italian restaurant. A 20-person dinner, which I'm sure she paid for. I don't know how. But I said to you before when we were talking about Jen Shah, I feel as if there's money there. I don't know how much money's there, but she owes, $6.5 million in restitution. For someone that's going to prison, and I really felt sorry for her when she was walking in to hear her sentence, maybe because I have a heart. I kind of felt sorry for her a little bit because I was like, damn, like I don't wish bad on anyone. I don't wish prison time on anyone. But the lack of remorse, the lack of empathy for your victims, and then you have the nerve to host a 20 people. I don't even know 20 people I want to eat dinner with like that, to be honest with you. I mean, I always hear that Jen Shah, she rolls deep with her entourage, so I know half of these people weren't even her friends. No confirmation on if Sharif Shah was there. No confirmation on if her sons were even there. No confirmation on if any of her castmates were there. I don't think so, because I don't think they were even here in New York. Andy Cohen says they have a good outlook on season 4's cast. Andy, you say these things all the time, and then people say, we don't believe you. You say these things all the time, and every time it falls flat. Sidebar. Look, sidebar. I don't watch Vanderpump Rules. I have never watched Vanderpump Rules. I know some of the names. I know some of the characters. I know some of the drama. But we reported on Garcelle's son. Hey, Garcelle, I know you follow me, but look, I don't mean nothing. I'm still going to talk about your son. Garcelle's going to make an appearance on Vanderpump Rules, and so is her son, and her son cheating on his then baby mama and wife. No, the wife. Look, that's what Erica called her, the baby mama. No, she's the wife. So he's making an appearance on the show, kissing on that other girl. I don't know. Should I start watching Vanderpump Rules? Do I need to watch all the other sorry seasons? But then you all tell me, Vanderpump Rules has some problematic years. I remember the black girl who came out, who was also named in Nene's lawsuit. Y'all will let me know. My community always lets me know what I need to watch. I just kind of want to watch the episodes with Garcelle's son so I can talk about that. Maybe we will. We'll talk about that, and then we'll just talk about it on Tuesday Takeover. I'm not doing a separate live on Vanderpump Rules. I think Vanderpump Rules is on its last legs. I told Andy to cancel it. Wait, no, hear me out. I told Andy Cohen to cancel it because that would be the only way that Lisa Vanderpump would return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If she has a platform where she's able to promote her businesses somewhere else other than Beverly Hills, she's not coming back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No matter how much people want her to. So cancel it. I mean it. Well, a lot of you said that it's on its last legs anyway. Just saying, right? Okay. So I don't know. You guys will let me know if I should talk about Vanderpump Rules or should I just watch those episodes with Garcelle's son so we can. What's going on with that? Have they filed for divorce? What's going on with his estranged wife? Well, we might watch those episodes and just talk about those episodes. You'll let me know. Replay crew, let me know. All right. Let me focus. What was I talking? Oh, Jen Shah. Inmate Shah. That's what we need to refer to her going forward. Inmate Shah. So she hosted this 20-person dinner and then hired these two black men, security, to cover her so no one could take photographs, but you clearly see her in these photographs. Someone called Emily G. Baker. Can the judge add more time on based off her behavior now? I think so. Right? He could. Or she could. Who was the judge again? So we hear Jen Shah hosted that 20-person lavish Italian dinner right after her sentencing. We hear that Andy Cohen's going to do an exclusive interview with her. What is she going to say now? At this point, we don't even care. I would have much rather her speak her piece on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. The Salt Lake City reunion looks like it's going to be a hot mess. Can you imagine? Look, if you look at this picture, if you take away the friend ofs of the show, you have 4 women as a part of the cast. This is a mess. And I know there are rumors that Mary Cosby is coming back and that Mary Cosby makes a surprise appearance. I don't believe that any of that is true. But here's the thing. Even if they bring back Mary Cosby, they have to bring back some other people. Andy Cohen says that the casting is good for season 4. Did they bring Utah's homegirl back? Because remember she was testing out last season and I said I was excited about Utah's homegirl, a black woman. They need to bring her because I wanted to see what she was giving. Because if y'all gave this particular what's her name? Angie H a moment, what happened to Utah's homegirl? I want to see what she was giving. I'm rooting for Utah's homegirl. Please bring her back. Look, please, I would. They edited her out. I want to see Utah's homegirl. I want to see Mary Cosby. Anyone else in Salt Lake City that we should be on the lookout for? Angie H needs to be upgraded. And you know I'm not one to quickly and say that someone needs to be upgraded. I don't believe that. But Angie H has shown so much promise in these last few episodes. Not Angie H, Angie K. Sorry. Angie H needs to go. She's been trying since season 1 to be full-time. No, I'm done with Angie H, okay? Unless she brings something. Done with Angie H. Angie K needs to be upgraded. I want to see more of Angie H. All right, let's move on from Salt Lake City because Based off of this picture alone, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Do you care? Replay crew? Hold on, y'all. Let me turn this thing off. Do you care? I don't care. Guys, if you want, just rewind, Google Schmoogle in YouTube, the casting news that I did for last season, and I talked about Utah's homegirl, and I told you how excited I was for her, and then to come to find out she wasn't even a part of the season. I was like, really? Not with the nickname Utah's homegirl. She didn't make the cut? I wonder why. And she was friends with Jen Shah, I think. There's a picture of her and Jen Shah together. I mean, I will hold that against her. Jen Shah, okay, can we put the victims aside? Sorry, victims. Can we put what she's done aside? Those moments with Jen Shah have been, there are some funny classic moments with Jen Shah. But lock her up. I'm done. Look, I'm done. Since we're talking about the Real Housewives, let's talk about Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. All right. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Bravo, Peacock have officially announced what the season 4 cast will look like. If you follow me on TikTok, then you saw that I talked about this earlier this week, and we're getting repeats already, which says to me that casting for Ultimate Girls Trip, there's problems. If they're not able, with this vast years of people to pick from, there's problems, and I wonder what it is. I feel like it's way too soon. We're only on season 4 and we're doing repeats from season 2. We still have not got confirmation on season 3 and when that's premiering. First of all, season 3, I saw the trailer at BravoCon and it looks so good. Oh wait, not that one. Sorry. This one. This looks so good. I don't care about Whitney and Heather. Okay, let's get back to Salt Lake City. Whitney posted that as soon as Jen Shah got locked up, Heather all of a sudden started following me. Whitney, I don't think that the two, we all knew that Jen Shah was going to get years in prison. I don't think that's the reason why Heather decided to start following you. I'm over Whitney, but I'm over Heather too in the black eye situation. But I'm ready though to see Ultimate Girls Trip season 3. I don't care about the cast of season 4 right now. I want to know, when is the premiere date for Ultimate Girls Trip season 3? I think it's going to happen once Miami is done. I think we will know more when Miami is done. And Miami is truly bringing it this season. They really are. But I'm ready for season 3. Forget about the repeats that you're trying to bring us on season 4. Okay, you're probably wondering, Kempire, who exactly is coming to season 4? Because some of you haven't seen the news. All right, so I'll stop vamping and tell you. So season 4 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, we will see Vicky Gunvalson is returning, okay? Gretchen Rossi, who we haven't seen, she's not a repeat, but she's from Real Housewives of Orange County. I know the name, but I don't know her story, okay? She is coming to Ultimate Girls Trip. Brandi Glanville is be returning. Remember, she was part of Ex-Wives Club at Dorinda's house. Camille Grammer, I'm actually happy about that. All right. Excuse me. Phaedra's returning. Which says to me, okay, so I believe we talked about it here, that Real Housewives of Dubai, word on the street, according to my sources, multiple sources, are telling me that they're supposed to start filming in February. Word on the street is that the reason why there was no confirmation on February was because of something that happened with the Dubai, the UAE government when it comes to Dubai bling. We talked about Dubai bling. I wonder, was it the coffee scene? Is that why the Dubai government was like, hold on before we give you permits so you can start filming here? Well, now I'm hearing the green light is happening for the Real Housewives of Dubai in February. I still have not heard confirmation on who's returning, though. First, we heard that everyone was returning. Then we were hearing, oh, this one is leaving. This one's not leaving. Let me tell you one thing, though. One thing that I did, and you know how I feel about Sarah Al-Madani. I heard that she was coming back. So this rumor about her not coming back, I was just like, she wasn't the person I heard that might not be coming back. Lisa Milan is also not the person I heard that might not be coming back. Just saying. So back to Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4. So this is the cast, all right? So Phaedra Parks. So it makes me wonder, because this is why I went on the tangent about Dubai. Phaedra Parks, was rumored that, is she going to be on the Real Housewives of Dubai? She's friends with Caroline Brooks, blah, 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 blah. She can't return to Atlanta because of Candy. And I said, and all of you said too, no. We don't want to see Phaedra in Dubai. She had the lowest rated episode anyway. No one cares. And it wouldn't be real. Will she make an appearance? Maybe. Maybe she'll make an appearance. Are you okay with her making an appearance? Honestly, not really. I really don't love Phaedra. Phaedra has really become a caricature of herself. I'm not interested in seeing that anymore. Like, I love Phaedra from her heyday on Atlanta. I also didn't mind her on Ultimate Girls Trip, but even then, she wasn't engaging. She was giving us this air of, oh, baby, yes. All of that, and then also not getting really involved and not really revealing her true self. She barely wanted to talk about her relationship on this show. No, Phaedra, you can go. Especially when I hear all the other things that Phaedra says behind the scenes. Phaedra thinks she's an icon. And a lot of you think so too. And I said this the other day on Twitter. We need to stop throwing around the word icon and legend so willy-nilly. There are very few people that are real icons and legends. Stop it. Katie on my TikTok says, nope, Phaedra is the fakest ever. And she was even fake on Atlanta. All right. Sorry, y'all. You know what? A Special Case says, can we film in prison? If so, Salt Lake City will be lit. No, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm over Jen Shah. Because you don't know what you're getting from her. Literally, this court case with Jen Shah revealed that what we see on reality TV, and I know a lot of your heart's broken, is not the real Jen Shah. That everything is fake and exaggerated. I think some of us already knew this, but there are a lot of people that know this is who they really are. All right, back to Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4. Okay, Elephant Brain is working today. Okay. So Phaedra is going to be returning. The whole theme, again, this season is ex-housewives, okay? So which the rumors of Brandi Glanville possibly returning to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they're saying it's not true because they're set to start filming very soon. All right. Eva Marcel is also returning. Alex McCord. You remember Alex McCord? She lived in Brooklyn. She's an OG from the Real Housewives of New York. She had, before Peter Thomas, there was her husband. Okay. He was the original, Peter Thomas. All right. So Alex McCord is making a return. She lives in Australia, so she'll be flying to Marrakesh. That's where they're going to be filming this season. I'm excited about that because we've done the tropical locations, but now we're going to Marrakesh. It's just something. Sidebar: Alex wasn't Alex a part of this? Yes, Alex was part of the season with when they went to Morocco. Is she gonna have flashbacks? Are they going to stay at the same place that they stayed last time? Honestly, I kind of wish they added Luann, right? Well, word on the street, Luann's supposed to be filming for Legacy, but I hear that's not happening until the spring. I believe this Marrakesh situation, Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4, is going to start filming very soon. I wish they had added another New York housewife, like Luann. Has Luann done Ultimate Girls Trip yet? She did. Damn, that would have been a repeat. But they're doing repeats anyway. Sonia Morgan tweeted that she would love to do Ultimate Girls Trip at the townhouse. That seems obvious, Bravo, Peacock. Are we working on that? And I said this is my suggestion. Pickles. You remember Pickles, one of the original Sonia Morgan interns? She should be the house manager. I know Pickles probably has moved on, married, probably running $1 million business. I don't know. Pickles, take the time off. I want to see Pickles back and her beautiful self. I want to see how far her life has come. Bring Pickles back. Make Pickles the house manager at the townhouse. You guys will let me know your suggestions. Who should stay in the townhouse with Sonia Morgan? We need at least one other housewife from New York to be there. Who? I mean, the townhouse is haunted, and so is Kelly Ben-Simone. What about Kelly Ben-Simone? I already love that. I'm already looking forward to that season, whenever that season is going to happen. She still owns the townhouse. But more importantly, okay, let's talk about it. Caroline Manzo. So Caroline Manzo is set to return to our lives and TV screens on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. All right? And I'm here for it. I am definitely here for it. Where's my Caroline Manzo picture? I know I have it. Oh, here it is. Caroline Manzo. All right. So I've had not a love-hate relationship. I've just had a roller coaster relationship. Not relationship, because there is no interaction. I've just had a roller coaster emotions when it comes to Caroline Manzo. I loved her with her own reality show with her family. I've always loved her family. I've always loved her real nature. I loved her at BravoCon this year. But then I'm always reminded, and you can check out my reports, my separate reports, where I talked about at length the Dina Manzo situation. And not what's going on in their relationship specifically, but Caroline Manzo writing a character letter for her brother-in-law, who is being accused, allegedly, he's being accused of orchestrating the home invasion that left Dina and her now husband battered and bruised. This is where I'm conflicted with Caroline Manzo. I love her, but I hate what she did to her sister. Because no matter how you feel, I mean, Dina probably did some bad things too, but nothing beats this. You're going to write a character letter? I'd much rather tell my husband, I don't want any involvement here. You already know that this is not going to be good for me and my sister's relationship. I don't want any involvement. So that always sticks out in my mind. But I'm gonna watch. I just don't understand why are we getting repeats? Why are we getting repeat housewives already on Ultimate Girls Trip? Scheduling? Maybe? Who doesn't want to go to Marrakesh? Who doesn't drop everything and say, I'm going to Marrakesh? And for all of you that are saying Nene should go, I mean, it would have been amazing if Nene went. But Nene sued the network. She had damning claims against the network. They're not going to sign a contract with this woman and bring her back on their platform. At least not yet. I think it's the wounds are too fresh. I would love Nene to come on Ultimate Girls Trip. Can you imagine that season? Can you imagine that season? Because no matter how you feel about Nene, she's still great TV. She's still great TV. Yes, there were moments in the later years where Nene was feeling herself and she became not great on Atlanta. But I think on Ultimate Girls Trip, it's a different energy. It's a different situation. It's different people. I think she would be quite entertaining. Look, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We need to let that go. Aman, that is such a good idea. She said, can we get Danielle Staub on the next one? She would bring chaos. Mind you, they should have brought her on this one. But I think she's burned the bridge with the network as well. So I don't know if it's as bad as the Nene situation. But yeah, they're not in a great place. And she wants to return on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I saw that video of her. She wants to return. No. Danielle Staub is a liability. When we talk about housewives being liabilities, Danielle Staub is a liability. Like the elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. Okay, no, the elevator goes all the way to the top and then there's a death drop with her. You just never know. You just don't know when it's going to drop. Just saying. Let me say thank you. We have a couple of super chats, guys. If you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover, our first Tuesday takeover of 2023. This is where we talk about a variety of reality TV shows, reality TV news, and pop culture news. Be sure to check out some of the things that you already missed these last couple of days, including Love and Marriage Huntsville recap on Sunday. And we also had a recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac yesterday. Be sure to check that out here on the channel. And be sure to check out some of my other content on other platforms, including TikTok, at the Kempire on TikTok. Shout out to our TikTok community. Also check out our just random shows that I talk about that I don't talk about anywhere else, like The White Lotus on HBO. I have some tweets that I talked about there. Our Kempire After Dark live that we had last night is available on Twitter at the Kempire. And a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, came out over the weekend, and it's called Ding Dong. All right. Speaking of Ding Dong, and then we'll get to the super chats before I forget, because I will forget. Madam Diana Jenkins is officially gone. I think we all knew this. Okay, so Lisa Rinna last week announced that she was not returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Andy Cohen has said that she was not fired. It was a mutual agreement that came out over on Radio Andy. But Andy Cohen, Bravo, they never say that a housewife was fired. We know what it is. Okay? We know what it is. Homegirl was let go. They couldn't come to a mutual agreement, meaning that her contract wasn't renewed. She was fired. Okay. So Diana Jenkins announced, she also announced that she's pregnant. Well, she decided to post this on her social media saying this: as many of you know, Asher and I are expecting our second child together later this year. You also know that due to many factors, this pregnancy is considered high risk, and I am on doctor-advised bed rest. To that end, I am not able to devote myself fully to filming the next season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I would like to thank Bravo and Evolution for allowing me to focus on my pregnancy and their support and understanding. I promise to continue sharing my fertility journey with you. Good girl, share with your followers. We don't care. I mean, look, we don't care. However, safe pregnancy, congratulations. Bye, girl. We already knew, for the love of Philly Diva, we already knew her fate was sealed when she said that it can't feel good to be a black content creator, and then try to associate that with the dark web. Girl, we know you. And then her harassment. Look, we pointed out during our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, we pointed out the way that Garcelle was reacting to Diana and her harassment on social media. I said, this is a work environment. So what Garcelle is alluding to in the conversation is that Diana is harassing her on social media. Her coworker is harassing her. Her fate was sealed. But if we put all of that to the side, she was a terrible housewife. And I was excited for Diana when we saw the preview. We didn't know anything about her. And she was like, "You're looking for a new villain? Well, here I am." And I said, wait a minute. Let me find out. And we know that we've come to find out that Diana was only brought on the show by Lisa Rinna to come at Sutton. It became very obvious. Oh, you're going to bring one of the people that organized this charity that Sutton's accusing you of mooching off of her? Sidebar, Sutton came out, and Sutton, of course, was very lovely and saying that, we'll miss Lisa. She's had some really iconic moments on the show, and I hope that she takes this time to reflect. And, I look forward to seeing what she does next. Sutton is a class act. I didn't expect anything less. Garcelle, I expect shade. She hasn't done anything yet, at least that I know of. But I'm expecting, because Garcelle's good with the subtle shade and the humor. I know she was doing it. Garcelle was so happy about this, she changed the color of her hair. Zizi says, next topic. Diana can go. And her money can go. Hold on. Why won't this work? Oh, there we go. All right, Zizi. I mean, usually I would, as a tourist, I'd be like, don't tell me what to do. But I'm ready to move on from the Diana situation. All right, I'm ready to move on from the Diana situation. Look, not me licking my lips. Let me say thank you, all right? Let me say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Hold on. Let me just save this one. Okay. And thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you guys for the Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals. Any way that you try to support the channel, we appreciate. Shout out to our members as well. We appreciate you. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. Do they do this in the right order? I don't know. We'll just read it the way it's coming up. Thank you, Julie, for the super chat. She says, I don't see Alex McCord would do Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4. I'm not sure if I understand what you don't see why she would do it. I think you're trying to say. Maybe. A lot of people were surprised that she's doing. I'm actually interested to see the life update in regards to her. Julie says, did you listen to Andy on his channel saying he really hopes Lisa comes off pause soon? Oh, Andy, you need to be put on pause. Does he have no say? I mean, look, we've talked about Andy and his waning power at NBC Universal. Jack, thank you so much for the super chat. Jack says Danielle is the GOAT of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Greatest of all time? I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, Jack. I don't disagree. I kind of wish, I probably would give her that if she had more seasons on the show, but she definitely has some iconic moments. Look, here I go using iconic. Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Daniel, sorry. Daniel says, Ultimate Girls Trip with Bethany, Nene, LVP, and Karen Huger. Can you imagine? Like, that would be a monster hit. Who else would we add to this cast? Because we need more housewives than just Bethany, Nene, LVP, and Karen Huger. The budget alone for this would be huge. But to me, they would make up based off the viewership. Can you imagine? I just don't think it's ever going to happen. There's too much bad blood, too much legal situations. Jack, thank you so much for another super chat. Jack says, Diana, sweetheart, we already knew. Go away now. Okay. Julie, thank you for another super chat. Julie says, LVP tweeted back at me when I commented take several seats regarding comment ding dong and a throw up emoji about her returning to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's not going to return. As I said to you before, unless they cancel Vanderpump Rules and any iteration of Vanderpump Rules, she's not returning to Beverly Hills. But she will return because she's a smart businesswoman and says, I need to promote my businesses. Let's be real. Kia, thank you so much for the super chat. Kia says, what a great way to start 2023. Diana and Renna are gone. Hallelujah. Thank you, Kia, for the super chat. We appreciate you. Okay. Guys, we have over, oh my God, we almost 1,400 people on YouTube alone, and we have quite a few people watching on TikTok. What's going on TikTok? We appreciate you guys being here behind the scenes. We also have quite a few people watching on Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Be sure to follow us on those platforms if you haven't already. Ooh, Sharon, that is a good suggestion. Add Candy, because you know Candy and Nene have had it on again, off again. I don't know what to call it. So that would be an interesting mix. LVP, Kyle. Add Kyle there. Karen Huger. Add Charisse. Oh, no. Robin, because we hear Robin and Karen are having issues behind the scenes. So that might be interesting. Oh, Bravo, if only you can negotiate and if only you had the budget to give it to them. Because that would be a big one. That would be a big one. All right. All right. All right. Let me focus. Okay, Vicky on Facebook says, am I the only one who isn't excited about Vanderpump Rules? No, I mean, based off those ratings, not a lot of people are. Not a lot of people are. Okay. All right. Where do I want to go next? Okay, we'll talk about Prince Harry in just a second. But I do want to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. As you know, this Tuesday takeover, for those that don't know the history, it started off as 90 Day Fiancé recaps. And then we started wanting to talk about some of the other shows on TLC. Then it turned into TLC Takeover. But then we wanted to talk about other reality shows outside of TLC, and thankfully we did, because TLC has become, I mean, at least 90 Day Fiancé has become, ugh. Well, Happily Ever After, 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, we talk about it every single Tuesday as well. We talked about 90 Days Single Life as well. Now we're on the tell-all. I was excited about this new concept they were trying to do by rolling the cameras even when they're not filming the tell-all. And I just have a couple of things to say. We still haven't gotten Jenny's story yet. This part 2 of the episode, they don't even believe, like, these guys aren't actors. These are real people. And you could tell when these people are lying. Big Ed really showed his true colors in this episode, asking for the ring back when he was exposed for texting Rose in the Philippines. Rose looks good, though. I don't blame him for wanting to get back with her. She looks good. Just saying. And I'm about to say something, and I don't mean to be this harsh, but I'm kind of glad that Liz doesn't have full custody of her daughter. Hear me out. Because she makes poor decisions. And the first decision was ever being with Big Ed and continuing this relationship. This man is caught out there cheating and then says all this nasty, hateful things to you and then asks for the ring back. And you still are not sure about how you feel about this man. Your self-esteem is so low. I have never seen it this low before. And I really believe that this relationship was just a relationship for TV. But if it's not, girl, you are sad. And I'm kind of glad that your child is not around this 24/7. Even though she says, oh, Ed is so good to my kid. I don't want Ed around your kid. Honestly, I don't know if I want you around your kid. You make poor decisions, and I don't feel sorry for you. But Ed is still trash. And he showed his true colors. Why are we watching this couple that's not even a 90 Day Fiancé couple? Why? And I only feel that Big Ed was reaching out to Rose, not because he wants to be with her. He wants to extend his contract to be on this show. We don't care about Big Ed. Speaking of people that we don't care about, Angela, I'm still waiting for the tear. Did you guys see any tears come out of Angela's eyes during this tell-all? I could not find a tear. Sidebar, Renee, her friend, why didn't we see any scenes with Angela and Renee? We saw her with their other friends, so we didn't even think that Renee was there. Even after Renee came out, why did Renee look better than her friend, though? Renee looked good. But Renee, your commentary was terrible. It was trash. Michael, you're a terrible actor. I don't believe any of this stuff. Yet, okay, Michael's cheating. Michael's saying I love you to this other lady. She literally says that he said on text to this woman, let me get to the States and I will deal with Angela. She says that this could put their whole situation, his K-1 visa, in jeopardy. You just said it on a national television show. That's a wrap. He's never coming here. But maybe Michael doesn't want to come here because he's living the high life in Nigeria and she's paying him, let's stay on this show, be with me in this way. I don't believe this relationship. I don't know if I even believe that they're really legally married. Angela, I couldn't find a tear. Your acting is terrible. Yet you want to still be with this man after he's cheated on you, told this woman that he wanted to fly her to Nigeria. Apparently, there's some other separate bank account, maybe in part 3 or part 4, we'll find out. Because, Sean was like, when Sean loves to say, do you have a separate bank account? And then they move on because he denies it. And then she says, we'll get back to that. Oh, we're going to get back to it. Do you have another Instagram account, Michael? And then Angela goes to the screen. No, you don't. Sidebar, I found somebody on, I posted this on my Twitter yesterday. Someone that reenacted Michael and Angela. They were far more entertaining and believable than Michael and Angela in real life. We are done. Someone's to clip this and send this to TLC. We are done with Angela, Deem, and Michael and that fake storyline. I believe it was real in the beginning, but at this point, it's jumped the shark. It's like, what? Yet Angela, she can't find a tear. She can't find. I just found a tear in my own eye. She couldn't find a tear. She's so heartbroken. He's cheated on her. He's talking about using her. She's saying, Sean asked her, how do you trust him? She's like, not 100%. So why are you still married to this man? Why are you still with this man? When you have audio of him saying that he loves someone else, wants to be with someone else, and asking that woman to come to Nigeria for Valentine's Day. Angela pulled out the uncle. Not the uncle defending Angela. She's putting out all stunts and shows, and I don't believe it's just Angela. I believe it's the producers. I mean, the producers have been accused of making up stories before. Some of these former 90 Day Fiancé people have said that. At this point, we don't care. Speaking about we don't care, Libby and Andre, I'm not even talking about their storyline. I just want to cover the fact that people on the internet didn't think that Libby could sing. They thought that she was faking it, and then she sang for us. I believe that she could sing. I was really surprised when she sang on the show. I was like, wow, she actually sounds really good. That's all you guys get from me. I don't care about any of this family drama. Andre, you could get deported. I don't care. I don't believe he's getting deported. That's why I said that. Just saying. Kimberly, I still love you, girl. We haven't really unpacked her storyline. She's just chiming in on everyone else's storyline. I'm actually surprised that Angela didn't jump on Kimberly when Kimberly was dogging out Michael. She probably knows what we know. She can kill a man with her bare hands. She was in the military. She told us this. Yeah, thank you, VK. VK says, it's all fake. We are so done, honestly. And I don't know what they can do at this point, because it seems as if they just can't find the couples anymore for 90 Day Fiancé. And I used to love 90 Day Fiancé in its heyday. But you are continuously shoving these fake couples down our throats. Why did Yara this week was the voice of reason? Angela's behavior, we've all said it, was bullying. And Renee, Angela's friend, I wouldn't call it bullying. It was bullying. I agree with Yara. Not me agreeing with Yara. And then later, we get to see them outside of the tell-all. And Big Ed wants to have a conversation with Liz. And she's like, you want to go over here? And Liz, if you don't go get some self-esteem and get off our television screens, go worry about your child. And not this relationship with this. Look, I need the throw up sound on here. Note to self. Look, no, like, Her behavior, though, explains a lot about her life. Wouldn't this be her third, fourth marriage? Explains a lot about Liz. Anyways, who else did I want to talk about from this reunion? They haven't gone through Jenny and Sumit's story just yet. This is a 4-part reunion. I was excited at first, and then I'm just like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. And I shouldn't be surprised because there are so many people on this cast that their stories were just like, ugh. And you saw Bilal checking on Big Ed after he asked for the ring back when they took that break. Bilal, if you don't go sit down and mind your own toxic behavior business. All right. I know why some of you are here. I know why some of you are here. You're here for me to talk about Prince Harry. Okay, let's talk about Prince Harry. First of all, Prince Harry, and I said this before because we've been talking a lot about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently because, you know, they had their highly successful Netflix documentary, which we've talked about. If you missed any of our other Tuesday takeovers or Thirsty Thursdays, we've talked about that. I've also posted some just recaps on my YouTube and on TikTok about the Harry and Meghan documentary. The last week or so, you saw that there were leaks from the book, from his new book, which came out today, I should say. His book called Spare. It's basically saying that's what he's considered in the royal succession of the throne. Okay? So there have been a lot of opinions when it comes to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. A lot of opinions on both sides. People that defend them, people that hate them, people that feel like, I thought you wanted privacy. Well, there were a lot of leaks that came out in regards to this book. And I said this to you before. We've talked about media manipulation a lot here on the channel. And I felt like the leaks were to kind of take away from the heart of the book. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to report on these leaks. I want to report on more so the actual book and his actual words. So he's done a couple of interviews in promotion of the book, including a 60-minute interview with Anderson Cooper. And this is why I can appreciate real journalists, because Anderson Cooper, very much like a Barbara Walters, is going to, he doesn't show his opinion. He's just asking the questions that he believes people would like answered. And I appreciated the interview and I appreciated the pushback that he gave Harry on certain questions. All right. So there are a few things, hold on, let me bring them up, that I want to talk about in regards to Prince Harry and his interview. All right, hold on one second, because I forgot to send it to this computer. And here we go. All right. So there are a few different things that came out from this interview that he did. But before we even get into that, Prince Harry for People Magazine. Okay, let's say the things, because this is our show. Prince Harry's out here aging like a fine red wine, and Prince William is aging like, okay. But here's the thing, karma's interesting because it comes in so many different ways. Of course, Prince Harry looks good, and I'm sure you've seen all the leaked stories where he's talking about his if he's cut or uncut and all that other stuff, talking about the fight that happened between him and Prince William, where Prince William got physical with him. And there have been a lot of people wondering if the royal family should actually do their own interviews. Should they do their own, something to speak out against these things? However, people will say they do. They just do it through tabloids. Okay? Shout out to the two people that dislike the video. I love it when we start talking about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Okay. I love that Prince Harry, in his interviews and in this book, is talking about the unconscious bias that he had, that his family has had, because so many people, specifically white people, refuse to admit their unconscious bias. And to me, that's just a whole other level of ignorance. You admitting unconscious bias, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, we're like, wow, at least you're admitting that, you know what, I had some unconscious bias in regards to this situation. There's a lot of you that have been talking about the Meghan Markle and the Prince Harry situation with unconscious bias that refuse to own that. And I'm being nice by calling it bias. Let me take this picture down. Prince Harry. So Prince Harry's in People Magazine. And so in the 60-minute interview, he's talking about a few different things. So I just want to briefly go over some of the most important things. You can see this on 60 Minutes YouTube channel if you want to see his interview. All right. And he did another interview. I think it was with ITV. So Entertainment Tonight reports this in regards to the interview that he did. Prince Harry continues to speak his truth. The Duke of Sussex, there we go, opens up in yet another interview and shares details surrounding the stories from his upcoming memoir, Spare. So the 38-year-old royal sat down with Anderson Cooper for 60 minutes and reflected on his falling out with the royal family and his many memories of emotional turmoil from his life inside the palace walls. There's something that he talks about in regards to his mother's death, how he hadn't cried, after his mother had passed away. He was in like a real state of shock. I thought that was so interesting, but the thing that stood out to me, and we've talked about this on my podcast, when we talk about ayahuasca and how he did that and how that really unpacked a lot of stuff that he was kind of holding in. I was like, okay, Prince Harry. So there are bigger stories that are happening within this book than what has been leaked online to make it seem like it's a silly book. All right. So here are some of the important details that comes out from this 60 Minutes interview. Prince Harry's thoughts on Princess Diana's death was faked. So for years, Prince Harry didn't believe that his mother was actually dead. Princess Diana died after a car crash, as you know, in Paris, France on August 31st, 1997. She was 36 years old and Harry was only 12 at the time. He says this in the interview. He says, "For a long time, I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of it was that she would never do this to us, but also part of it maybe felt like this was all a part of a plan. For a time, I believed she was alive, and then she would call us, and we would go and join her." All right. Oh, let me just save this, y'all. So there was a period of time that he thought that his mother had faked her own death. All right. So the 38-year-old Duke of Sussex noted that it was many years before he accepted that his mother had passed away. He spent a lot of time thinking about the crash and the logistics of the accident. He didn't even see photos of the crash until he was 20. When he did, he says that they were distressing. He said, "I had huge amounts of hope. He says, I was looking mainly for proof that she was in the car, proof that she was injured, and proof that the very paparazzi that chased her into the tunnel were the ones that were taking photographs of her lying half dead in the back of the car." Can you imagine? He also talks about in this interview, can you imagine finding out that your mother has passed away, your father is not a great support system, and then you have to go out, both you and your brother have to go out and console other people after your mother died? He talks about in this interview reflecting on the things that he heard. He heard people wailing. He heard, the clacking of the horse, the day the procession for Princess Diana's funeral. He also talks about shaking people's hands and how their hands were wet. And now he reflects that that was because they were crying and he had not cried yet. He did say that he did cry, and I remember this. I remember this was a hard moment for me when my sister passed away. Seeing them put her in the actual ground, that's when it clicks, like, oh my God, this is real. So I was just like, oh, I could relate. And if you've lost someone, you probably could relate to him as well. But can you imagine consoling the world when your mother has passed? He says this. He says he also recalled how his personal secretary at the time prevented him from seeing the more horrific and visceral photos that still exist of the crash. He says, "All I saw was the back of my mom's head slumped on the back seat. There were other more gruesome photographs, but I will be eternally grateful to him for denying me the ability to inflict pain on myself by seeing that, because that's the kind of stuff that sticks in your mind forever." So one of the other things that he talks about in regards to this interview, he talks about not getting invited to fly with the family before Queen Elizabeth's death. He says this. So while he and Meghan live in the US, Harry was in London back in September for a charity event when it was announced that his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, had been placed under emergency medical watch at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. He says, I asked my brother, I said, what are your plans? How are you and Kate getting up there? And a couple of hours later, all the family members that live within the Windsor and Ascot area were jumping on a plane together, a plane with 12, 14, and 16 seats, maybe 16 seats, he says. I was not invited. Because he was not invited, and thus was forced to find his own last-minute accommodations to get to Balmoral Castle on his own, he was too late to say goodbye. The Queen died before he was able to say goodbye. However, he did sit with her after she passed. He says, I walked into the hall. My aunt was there to greet me, and she asked me if I wanted to see her. I thought about it for 5 seconds, thinking, is this a good idea? And I said, you know what? You can do this. You need to say goodbye. So I went upstairs, took my jacket off, and walked in and just spent some time with her alone. If you listen to some of the interviews with Harry and Meghan, they do talk about this separate relationship that Harry had with Queen Elizabeth. And that relationship seemed just like a normal grandmother and grandson relationship. Okay? And I know what some of you might be thinking. You're like, why would you fly with the family when you're talking so bad about the family? Because your grandmother is dying? You kind of look past all of the other drama and you try to come together? Especially this could be the last moments with her? And it's not like Harry can get on, just a regular flight. It's Prince Harry. So there's got to be a lot of, things put in place in order for him to move around. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and, of course, pop culture news. We're talking about Prince Harry's new interview with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes, and we're talking about some of the highlights that came out from it. So in regards to speaking his truth, he talks about this in the interview. Anderson Cooper asked Harry about the criticism he's received over making his feud and his problems with his family so public, and why he isn't being more private about personal affairs. He says this. He says, every single time I've tried to do it privately, there would be briefings and leakings and plantings of stories against me and my wife. Harry says the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto. So now I'm trying to speak a language that perhaps they understand through the media. I will sit here and speak truth to you with words that come out of my mouth, rather than using someone else, an unnamed source, to feed in lies or a narrative to a tabloid media that literally radicalizes its readers. There's some truth right here. You heard what he said? He says, a narrative to a tabloid that literally radicalizes its readers to then potentially cause harm to my family, my wife, my kids. Okay, Prince Harry. So in regards to how the family received Meghan in the beginning, he talks about that in the interview as well. And he talks more about this at length in his book, Spare. All right. So Harry says that certain members of the royal family were disdainful of his wife to be right from the beginning, before they even had a chance to get to know her. And the UK press jumped on that. Remember, if you paid attention to their documentary, there are separate press situations for the royal members. They have separate media communications people. The UK press jumped on it. When asked what the mistrust could have stemmed from, Harry suggests the fact that she was American, an actress, divorced, black, biracial, with a black mother. Those were just 4 of the typical stereotypes that becomes a feeding frenzy for the British press. My family read it's laid out. Oh, he says, my family read it's laid out at breakfast when everyone comes together. So whether you walk around saying you believe it or not, it's still leaving an imprint in your mind. So if you have the judgment based on a stereotype right at the beginning, it's very, very hard to get over that. He says, I went into this incredibly naive. All right. I had no idea the British press were so bigoted. Hell, I was probably bigoted I was probably bigoted as well. All right, hold on, y'all. Thank God I have two mouse pads here because my other one decided to stop working. Let me see if I can plug this in. Hold on, y'all. There we go. All right. So he says, I went into it incredibly naive. I had no idea the British press were so bigoted. Hell, I was probably bigoted. He talks about this in the documentary. He's talking about it in the book about his own unconscious bias, his family's unconscious bias. And as I said before, there's nothing wrong with unconscious bias. What's wrong with it is that you're not willing to see your unconscious bias. And I've told you before, when we've covered Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I said, I went into the documentary wanting to see something else, I was like, okay, maybe people are right about these two. And I came out of it thinking, nope, nope. They have to use, and he does address the whole topic of him not dropping his royal titles. And he's like, it wouldn't change anything. I literally said that. Prince Harry, you watching? No, this is his truth. It's not going to change anything. The press are still going to be obsessed with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Even if Prince Harry and Meghan Markle break up, they're still going to be obsessed with Meghan Markle. And they're still going to be obsessed with Prince Harry. Taking their titles away is not going to do anything. As you also know, King Charles' coronation is coming up, and people are saying, will they attend? I don't think they will attend. Will they be invited? I believe they will be invited because the royals they don't want to seem, they're alienating them. All right. Okay. He continues, says, you think, Anderson Cooper asked him, you think you were bigoted before the relationship with Meghan? He says, I don't know. Put it this way. I didn't see what I see, what I now see. He also talks about in this interview dealing with his mother's death. We talked a little bit about that, but he says this, he recounts his memories of finding out about his mom's death in August of 1997 and how he never shed a single tear at that point. He says, I was in shock, I'm 12 years old. It's 7:30 in the morning, early. Your father comes in, sits on your bed, puts his hand on your knee and tells you there's been an accident. I couldn't believe it. He also recalls how he had to meet with people mourning his mother, but was distanced from experience and felt distant from the experience and felt isolated. He says there were a lot of tears. I talk about how wet people's hands were. Their hands were wet from wiping their own tears, he remembers. I do remember one of the strangest parts to it was taking flowers from people and then placing those flowers with the rest of them as if I was some sort of middle person for their grief. Can you imagine 12 years old dealing with this? Okay, so in all fairness, yes, a lot of their drama is probably drama that you all have gone through in regards to family drama. He talks about how when he went to school, Prince William was like, act as if you don't know me. How many siblings can relate to that? I mean, I never had that experience, but I feel like there are a lot of people have siblings like that. Act like you don't know me. We're going to the same school. Act like you don't know me. So I do believe that there is some typical, brother rivalry and issues and family issues. It's just heightened because the media is involved. All of you are involved sharing your opinions. I'm involved by sharing my opinion. And there's a lot of scrutiny over it. But with that scrutiny, it does permeate the royal family. It permeates the relationship. Camilla. There we go. Camille. The mistress. Look. Queen mistress. I mean, we know the story. We heard what Princess Diana said about Camilla. She's not innocent here. Well, Prince Harry finally talks about Camilla Parker Bowles, the long love of now King Charles. He talks about that. He talked about her behavior and her relationship with the media and how she tried to manipulate the media if it would benefit her, because as you know, the media did not like her. She was known as the mistress, the side piece, so she was trying to use the media, especially because now she's moving into this new role as queen consort. And I told you this before when we reported on her being named the queen consort. I believed that this was the royal family making that decision. Well, we've allowed you to marry this woman despite all of the issues over the years. In order to save the crown, we've got to show unification. We've got to show people need to respect her as your queen. He talks about that relationship. He talks about her manipulation of the media. He talks a lot about Camilla and her thoughts and things like that. So there's been a lot of silly things that have come out, and people have tried to make it seem like Prince Harry's book Spare is just full of silly stories. All right. So I talked a little bit about this earlier in regards to Harry and how he dealt with his emotional trauma through hallucinogens. So I want to repeat this because I think it's important, because I want to try ayahuasca, but I was told by an expert, since I've never really done any drugs, I probably shouldn't start with ayahuasca. I still want to do it. And when I do it, I'm going to report all about it. But I really want to do it in like a place like Peru. Just saying. So according to Harry, he masked the pain and loss in his life through the use of illicit drugs, including marijuana and cocaine. However, he found actual help through the controls and monitored the use of psychedelics, including ayahuasca and shrooms. He says, I would never recommend people do this recreationally, but doing it with the right people, like experts, like real, like shamans and things like that. If you are suffering from a huge amount of loss or grief or trauma, these things have a way of working as a medicine. He says, for me, they cleared the windscreen, the windshield, and the misery of loss. He says, they cleared away this idea that I had in my head that I needed to cry to prove to my mother that I missed her. That was a deep moment for me. I was like, whoa. When he said this, he says, they cleared away the psychedelics, the ayahuasca. He says they cleared away this idea that I had in my head that I needed to cry to prove to my mother, Princess Diana, that I missed her. When in fact, all she wanted was for me to be happy. Deep. Look, deep. So, according to Entertainment Tonight, a source close to the royal family told ET over the weekend that they are, quote, bracing themselves for the next round of allegations ahead of Harry's multiple interviews, including his sit-down with Anderson Cooper, as well as interviews with ITV, with Tom Brady, and his interview with Michael Strahan on Monday's Good Morning America. According to the source, William, 40, feels that Harry has, quote, crossed a line. The source added, the family is appalled that Harry has revealed such private and lurid details which are completely inappropriate. The source said that no one thought Harry would go this far and share this much. According to other sources, the royal family feels Harry has not dealt with sharing the information in the appropriate way. He's gone about dealing with it the wrong way. The problem is no family conversation can ever take place because Harry claims he and Meghan are opposed to leaks, and then he and Meghan share extremely private family matters with the public, another source has told ET. They say Harry's hotly anticipated new memoir, Spare, is set to hit shelves today, January 10th, and sneak peeks and excerpts have already been hitting the internet, as we've talked about. On Wednesday, The Guardian published an excerpt from the memoir that detailed an alleged physical incident between William from 2019. Harry claims William physically attacked him after the pair got into an argument over Meghan Markle. Apparently, Prince William had called Meghan abrasive, rude, and apparently the relationship before they even got married with Prince William, he didn't like her, and it just continuously got worse after they got married. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. All right. I saved a couple of super chats. If I missed a super chat, I will try and find them and get back to you. Sussex Sandra, thank you so much for the super chat. She says the tabloids in the UK are making bank, I'm gonna just say that, on rebel raising the public to turn against Harry and Meghan. It's all a distraction to the problem of cost of living crisis. See, I love it when you guys you share these thoughts that actually live in the UK. So thank you for that. Abu, thank you so much for the super chat. Abu says, the fact that anyone is upset at Harry for speaking, thinking it's ruining the monarchy, must have forgotten about how his uncle, Prince Andrew, a minor, and was taken to the court and settled paying her off with taxpayer money. Thank you, Abu. Thank you, Julie, for the super chat. Julie says, part of Replay Crew now got to work to pay for the super chats or hubby's money. Sorry, I'm going to miss your take on Prince Harry, but I'm Team Harry. Okay, thanks, Julie. Julie's hilarious. Thank you so much for always supporting Julie. We appreciate you. Tina, thank you for the super chat. Tina says, them two being off the show is the best news. Lisa and Diana are annoying and troublemakers. In regards to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news, that Diana Jenkins and Lisa Rinna are not returning. So let me just make sure, just in case. Let me just make sure. Oh, I did miss a super chat. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Okay. I think that was it. Ooh. Hold on. Thank you, Julie, for another super chat. There we go. She says, I love how Camilla had a luncheon with Piers Morgan a few weeks ago. So disgusting, and who doesn't believe the paparazzi aren't in their pockets? A lot of people don't. A lot of people are against Meghan and Harry. And like I've said before, look, this is a free country. You have a right to your opinion. You really do. You have a right to your opinion, and so do I. And so do I. All right. Before we get into the ratings, I want to drop the call-in link for our members first. So I'm going to do that first. So if you're a member of the channel, head on over to the community tab. Senior Royals, I'm dropping it for you first. I want to hear your thoughts on anything that we reported for our Tuesday takeover, and then I'm going to get out of here. Damn, I've been talking for an hour and a half. Just when I don't think I got anything to say. I've been talking for an hour and a half. You talk too much, Kempire. All right. Let me drop this here. And again, guys, if you missed anything from the last couple of days, including our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap or our Potomac recap, be sure to check that out here on the channel. We also did our weekly recap with Lil Lynn and Grace Report on Grace Report's channel yesterday, so be sure to check that out as well. And a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, came out over the weekend. It's called Ding Dong, and I'm talking about my trip to Denmark. I'm talking about Lisa Rinna. I'm talking about Jen Shah in a variety of ways. Don't forget that a visual version of the podcast will be out on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you next as well. And Team Kempire members, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you in just a second. And I promise you guys, by next week, all of the Christmas stuff will be gone. Or at least moved out of frame. Until I'm able to move things around. All right. All right. Okay, guys. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hold on. And shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys as well. And everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Hold on. Okay, Mickey says, I completely agree. I am in West Yorkshire. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Or Yorkshire. Is that how you pronounce? Okay. The tabloid press over here is unbelievably vicious. And we've been hearing that for years. I mean, look, we think the press here is pretty vicious, but I've heard in comparison, it's really bad over in the UK. And we can only imagine. I don't really pay too much attention to the tabloids over there. But just based off the headlines that I've seen, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then when you see the side-by-side of the actual story versus what they're reporting and how they're doing it, when Prince Harry says in his interview that they're radicalizing their readers, this is real. But it happens not just in the UK. It's happening around the world. Here in the United States as well. That's why I always, I'm always twerking on the fence, because I'm like, well, let me think about the other side of this situation. And I've done that with the Prince Harry and Meghan situation. All right. Okay. We have a couple of people backstage, but I'm going to drop the call-in link for Team Kempire members as well. All right. Let me say thank you. Emilio, thank you so much for the super chat. Do y'all know my middle name is Emilio? Just saying. Spelled, no, it's spelled the same. Wait. All right. Emilio, thank you so much for the super chat. Amelia says, hello, Kim. Nice seeing your live vids again. Your videos personally helped me a lot through these last 6 difficult months. You definitely played a part in my healing process. Keep up the great work. Oh, you know what? I also need a sound effect. Oh, thank you, Emilio. That means a lot to me. It really does. And thank you for saying that. A lot of you say that about the channel. And look, that keeps me going, honestly. The fact that what I do here, the reports that we do, the funny that we do, the lives that we do, that you guys really appreciate it and it helps you in that way. It means a lot. It really does. I see that message all the time and it never gets old. That to me is a testament to continue the work that we're doing here. All right, enough about me. I've been talking for an hour and a half. You guys want to hear from our callers. So shout out to our Team Kempire, Royal Court, and Senior Royals. We appreciate you guys on a monthly basis. Look, I'm not begging you guys to do it, but you guys have volunteered to be monthly supporters. Some of you have been supporters for like 18 months of the channel. Thank you. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, Diana just posted in the chat, but you can head on over to teamkempire.com/join. We appreciate you. Look, my lips are dry. I'm gonna talk. I be out here looking like Malik Yoba. You gotta be of a certain age to even get that joke. Damn, have I reached that point in my life? All right, I have. Okay, let's take some callers. Hold on, let me see if I can switch this out. All right, let's take some callers. Let me post up our disclaimer. And guys, I haven't really promoted Coldest, but yeah, y'all know I always got my Coldest water bottle here with me. Don't forget to use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off of your order. We appreciate supporting the channel any way that you can while you're still supporting yourself. Get that Coldest water. They don't just have water bottles, guys. Look at all the things that they have, and they have sheets coming. Or sheets are really already there. Okay. All right, so let's get to some callers. Sharon's backstage, and she's going to update us on sports, I'm sure. What's going on, Sharon?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you? You're breaking up a little bit. There
Can
you
you
go.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now I can. Can you hear me? Oh, Sharon, do me a favor. Call back in. I think there's a delay. It happens. It happens sometimes. Just drop out, Sharon, when you hear this and call back in. And I'll prioritize you when you call in. All right? I think there's some sort of delay. I'm going to bring up Adrienne. She's backstage. What's going on, Adrienne?
Hey, love. Happy New Year. How are you?
Happy New Year to you. I'm well. You saw that video that we did talking about DeMarco blew up.
I know. But I just wanted to call real quick. I gotta go get my son in a second from school, but I'm glad Harry's spilling the tea and telling all these people business about how racist they really are, how bigoted they are over there. That's the OG white supremacy over there, so I'm not surprised. But I really and kudos to Anderson Cooper. He's such a great journalist, like you said. Like the way he did that interview, like that's real journalism, right?
Exactly.
But it's really sad because I have 2 sons, and this is not what Diana wanted. Like they over there fighting, throwing paws and all this stuff, and this is just ridiculous for him and William to be acting like this. Y'all grew up literally princes. I mean, this is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. Moving on, I'm glad Rena and Diana are gone. I think it's a testament to the people, the viewers' voices being heard. Like you said, the producers that they watch, and these platforms are important. Like people kept saying, this is ridiculous. We don't want to see these people anymore. And I think the ratings also showed that. The viewers were just not happy. They had to make.
Oh, we lost you, Adrienne.
An ultimate trip, but this is why you don't burn bridges. You never know when they may want you back. And but I think also, and lastly, I wasn't able to call in yesterday, but with Karen and Sharice, I think the reason Karen don't like her is because Sharice know they have an arrangement, and she doesn't want to have to answer publicly in front of everybody.
We lost you again. I don't know what's going on with reception today. What's going on? Is it me? Can y'all hear her? I can't. Sorry, Adrienne.
Sorry, love. That's okay. I'm breaking up. That's okay. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks so much, Adrienne.
Okay.
Ooh. I don't know what was going on. Reception. It happens. But, okay. We're going to get into some more callers. Tiana, we're going to bring you up next. Again, guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. We have almost 1,500 people watching on YouTube. Let's get to 750 likes, and I'll drop the call and link for the general audience if you want to call in and share your thoughts. I do want to say thank you to Jag. Thank you for the super chat. Jag says, my partner is Danish. I hope you enjoyed his country. I'm refusing to go with him next week. Too cold. I'm staying in Miami. Oh, Jag. Well, I hope you've been before. And if you haven't, you should definitely go soon. Because the food, I'm just saying. And I would much rather go with someone that's Danish versus going on my own. So Jag, do me a favor and please go with your partner. All right. I do talk more about my trip to Denmark and Sweden at length on my podcast. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. Let me just save this really quickly, and then we're going to bring up Tiana. Hold on. What's going on, Tiana?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Real quick with like Harry and Meghan. One, I ordered the book. It hasn't got here. Amazon released an email like, oh, because the orders were having trouble shipping, So I think I might get it on Audible because I'm seeing some of the stuff on Twitter, and I'm just like, what you mean he throws shade at page 6? So I'm trying to see it. But I honestly, and I think kind of what I've seen other people say on social media, I think that the UK and the establishment and the royal family, they really dropped the ball when it came to Harry and Meghan, because you had two people who were already invested in, some of the Commonwealth countries, African countries, giving back and doing that. People who were comfortable, who were comfortable to hug the babies and hug the kids and get on the floor, something that Will and Kate just don't do, and it's like, you sit here and you treat her like this. And it's like, not once have they ever defended her. And I think that's the part that's like, we knew they were racist. Colonization, we get it. But it's like, you guys really dropped the ball. And I think what it was is because when Meghan came into the family, I think a lot of people looked at her the way that I think our parents looked at Diana. And I think it was like, well, we can't have somebody out, because at least Diana at that point would have been queen eventually. And so it's like, well, we can't have this girl, this Black girl at that, come into the royal family and outshine William and Kate.
Yeah.
And then what Harry had said about Camilla, how it was Camilla feeding the stories to them. And it was like, wait, hold on. How do we forget? Or not even us, but like, how does the UK forget? Like, this woman is a homewrecker. She is literally head side chick.
Not head side chick.
If you think about it, if Camilla's story, I don't look, side chicks, y'all can go to hell. But if Camilla's story is not,
Tiana?
Camilla's story is not a testament to like side chicks just hold on.
Oh, no.
Because one day you might be queen.
I think that is something that happens once in a lifetime.
Once in a look. So to the side chicks out there, to Ariane.
Oh,
it ain't finna be you. It's not gonna be you. But no, I'm excited to read the book. I love that they're sharing their story. I know that people are upset that they're sharing their story. Oh, why don't they just go away? But the thing is, they did go away. And then you guys still, the British press still couldn't just leave them alone.
Yeah.
So they did go away. And so now I love that. I watched their Netflix documentary. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but I watched it. And I remember, I think the episode where they were just talking about their love story, I just had a grin on my face the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh my, like like them meeting, him being late for the first date, it's just, I had a smile on my face the whole time. And I think they just dropped the ball. So.
Okay, Tiana, we appreciate you calling in.
No problem. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. All right. All right, Sharon's back. So let's bring Sharon up and see if this is going to work. Sharon, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to drop this tea, and it doesn't have anything to do with Harry or Meghan, but I noticed that you were talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've been known that Rinna was fired back in October, and it wasn't by Andy. It was by the head execs, and it had nothing to do with money. They just did not like her. What they did was they held a focus group, and I didn't know they held focus groups, and to see if if they were likable.
Mm-hmm.
Rena was not likable, and I thought back in October when they had what was that?
BravoCon.
Where all the housewives got
Bravo.
together that you went to?
BravoCon.
Yeah, and everybody booed her, and I thought, oh, this is not helping her cause at all.
Mm.
And so I knew that she was not coming back. Also, don't look for Lisa Rinna to come back either.
Lisa Rinna
She is
or
not Lisa Rinna. I'm sorry, Lisa Vanderpump.
yeah.
Lisa Vanderpump. She's not coming back to the show. And also, this is um, make it or break it for um, oh, what is her name? The blonde.
There's quite a few blonde people on Beverly Hills.
Uh,
Erica
the
Jane
one with the
or
money
Dorito.
scandal. Erica Jane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's to make it or break it. They want to see if she can make it without Renna.
Okay.
So this could be her last season.
All right. All right, Sharon. Thank you so much for calling
But
in.
yeah, I've been holding on this since October.
You didn't tell me. I'm
Yeah,
done with you,
but
Sharon.
I just wanted to. Well, I had to see if it was true or not. But it's all coming together now.
Okay.
And Andy did not have anything to do with that decision.
Oh, I believe that. Andy doesn't wield the power that people
It was
think he
the
wields.
No, he doesn't. Andy does have a office wherever Universal whatever,
Yeah.
but he doesn't show up to this office.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the tea that I had on that situation.
All right,
If I
Sharon.
find out anything else, Kempire, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, Sharon. Thank you for calling in. Bye. All right, we have a couple more people that I want to bring up. All right, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. As you know, we've been talking about the Prince Harry interview that he did with 60 Minutes and Anderson Cooper, and we're talking a little bit about his book. If you're part of the Replay crew, as usual, I want to know where you're watching from, your thoughts on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, The Tell All. Your thoughts on, oh my goodness, we didn't talk about Family Karma. I'll talk about it in a second because I got only a couple things to say. Sorry, Family Karma. I didn't forget about you. I still love me some Family Karma. I just got sidetracked with so much news to talk about. If anything, I can always talk about it on Thirsty Thursdays again. All right? Gabriella, I'm going to bring you up for a short and shady comment. Hold on. What's going on, Gabriella?
Bonsoir. First, who in Earth Andy Cohen can be best friend with Anderson Cooper? Who is possible in Earth to have this friendship between Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen? I need to understand that. Two, remember Diana, she made an interview. She said, when the day of my wedding, we are three in the wedding. Camila, Joe, Diana, and her, and Charles. And Camila allegedly chose Diana. Diana, she was really in love. It's not a arranged marriage. For Diana, it was love marriage. She loved him. It was a first guy, okay? So everybody, you need to understand that. And third, I need to tell about Meghan and Harry and the tabloids in UK. They are so arranging. You don't imagine the power for tabloid in UK. They can make you live in hell. And we had in UK a strong trial when you have big newspaper make illegal, wire microphone on phones of people to take their conversation and to spy them. You had Sienna Miller was on this trial. Daniel, the James Bond guy too. A big trial of this spy phone, everything like that by a big newspaper. And third, the Piers Morgan. Why he had Meghan Markle? Because allegedly he had a dinner with her the first day she was in UK because she asked him to go out for dinner on Twitter, and the day she cut the dating with him to go in a party to meet Harry, and after that she never called him back. It's why he hating her because of, like that because of her ego, his ego.
All right.
So Just that. And just for the wedding for Robin, it's like a Shiba show. You never see that.
Oh, you
Never
know what?
see it.
Gabriella.
I want to be shady. I
All
want
right,
shady,
all
but
right.
nice and shady. Okay.
Thank
So
you,
happy weekend
Gabriella.
and good food to everybody. Bye bye.
Take care. Okay. All right. We're going to get to one or two more callers, guys. If you're just joining us, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that look and report on similar topics. And also subscribe so you don't miss out on when breaking news, when we go live, all of those different elements. We will, after this next caller, talk a little bit about the ratings, because that's something that we also talk about here during our Tuesday Takeover. I'm going to bring up Miss Brooklyn Diamond next. What's going on, Miss Brooklyn Diamond?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is my
Can you
mic
hear me?
on? Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Regarding Harry and Meghan, there's a couple of things. First, if you never watched The Crown on Netflix, although it's not a documentary, let me just go get my food. Although it's not a documentary, it has very interesting information that people should be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is that this whole mess with Harry and William and Diana, it's the creation of the firm.
Mm.
And you know, I feel bad for Charles to begin with. My first pity goes to Charles, because if you watch it, his father had a hard time at the school he sent him to and wanted to go home, really didn't want to be there. It wasn't a great experience. And then when Charles went there and had the same bad experience, Philip was like, yo, suck it up. I don't care. Like, he had no compassion for what his son was going through.
Mm.
Charles loved Camilla from the beginning. If they had just let him be with that woman, then none of the rest of this would have happened. The other thing, because I'm like a huge Anglophile and I read a lot of stuff going back with British and British history and literature and stuff, the idea of an heir and a spare, we say it very casually, but you have to understand what Harry and William are being brought up to be. Harry's role is, you are nothing but an extra part in case your brother dies. Think about that. That's what a spare is, your spare tire. It sits in the trunk. You don't give it no thought until you get a flat. Then the spare comes out. Like, that is what that word means. And that's how they refer to him. You are a spare. You are an inconsequential thing until we need you. He was very emotional. You saw that as a child. He was very much more like his mother. William was brought up to be ready to step into the machine and take over. When their mother died, yes, all of us have had traumas and we've had losses and we've had things, but we've had people who are around us who love us and comfort us, hopefully, or we've had somewhere to go. You're being raised in a system where it says, don't talk about it, don't let nobody know about it, don't show any emotion, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. He's 12. Yeah. And even to this day, everybody's saying Harry and Meghan are talking to the press and this, that, and the other. At least Harry and Meghan are saying it with their own voices instead of an undisclosed source, a spokesperson, they're saying, they're doing and saying the same things, but they're hiding behind a layer of protection. And Harry and Meghan are saying, no, we're going to say it with our own voice. We're going to say it with who we are and how we are. And if you don't like it, that's it. Yeah. And the other thing is, even Harry brought out, people thought him and William were close. They weren't raised to be close. Yeah. William was raised to be the king. Harry was left on his own until he was needed. I think the biggest problem everybody had was that as Harry grew up, although we saw all the mistakes he made and things, it made Harry real. And when people looked at him, he was a real person that you could relate to. We did, or I did drugs, or whomever, the person you talk about. I went to the club and rolled out the club and, looked like crap. I did this. He did the same things that the rest of the people could relate to. And he said, I made mistakes, but I learned from them. Yeah. And I think the British people related to that, and that their fear was Harry was a more likable person and would have made a better king. Because remember, for a long period of time, there was a push to make Queen Elizabeth say that Charles wouldn't inherit and skip over Charles and go straight to William.
Yeah.
Because people didn't want Charles because of the whole Diana thing. I think they were afraid that that would happen again. And I don't think they liked Meghan because then people would remember Queen Charlotte. And that's what I got to say about that. Do your history, folks. That family's got black in its blood.
All right. Thank you, Miss Brooklyn, for calling in. We forgot to talk about Below Deck. We forgot to talk about the ratings for, so we're going to go a little bit longer than usual. I hope you guys are okay with that. Because I do want to talk about Below Deck, and I want to talk about, where are my notes? This is why I need to have my notes in front of me. I want to talk about Below Deck, and I want to talk about Family Karma. But we're going to take a quick little break. So I know some of you are on your lunch break and you have to go, but you're part of the replay crew. We appreciate you being here. I'm not going anywhere. I want to talk, at least for the next 20 minutes, about Below Deck. I want to talk about Family Karma, and I want to talk about the ratings that came out in regards to those shows, RHOP, and maybe we'll take a couple more callers. We shall see. We shall see. I know everyone has strong opinions on some of the things that we're talking about today. Feel free to share those opinions in a respectful way in the comment section and in the live chat. Let me take a quick little break, and we'll be right back with Family Karma, Below Deck, and maybe a couple more callers. All right. All right. Give me a second. Give me a second. In the meantime.
It's been way too long, I've been building walls around me. Keep my distance so you never know too much about me. Trying to keep you out cause I love my safe space. But the problem is I never looked into my own face. Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? We let it go, will you hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will you hold it inside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize. We let it go, will you hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will you hold it inside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize. It's been way too long, I've been building walls around me. Keep my distance so you never know too much about me. Trying to keep you out cause I love my safe space. But the problem is I never looked into my own face. Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Yeah. We let it go, will you hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will you hold it inside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize. We let it go, will you hold it inside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will you hold it inside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize.
All right, we're back. Look, we're back. All right. The name of the song was Feel Right, and it's by Daniel King. All right. Welcome back to Tuesday Takeover. This is our very first Tuesday Takeover of 2023, so it is going to be a little bit longer. There's a lot that we need to catch up on, and I don't want to forget about some of my favorite shows that I love to talk about, including I want to talk about Family Karma. I want to talk about Below Deck, both that are available on Bravo. Let me just say thank you. We did get a couple of super chats that I want to say thank you. Hold on. Okay, I read that one already. Light Mission, thank you so much for the super chat. Light Mission says, I don't always agree with Harry and Meghan, but I wish there was more empathy towards them. Harry and Meghan is a good opportunity to have nuanced discussions about colorism, mixed privilege, classism, colonialism, etc. Hashtag Team H. Team Harry. Thank you, Light Mission. I appreciate the just the way that you worded that. You know, because some people you're right. A lot of people can be very like, "Ugh," there's their hashtag shut up Harry. I'm like, oh, come on now. No, we live in a free country, and so is the UK, where people are able to voice their opinions. All right. Shout out to Samantha. She's watching all the way from Trinidad. I see you guys. If you're just joining us and you missed it at the top of the show, I asked you guys where you're watching from. So if you didn't share where you're watching from, let me know where you're watching from. This is our Tuesday Takeover, where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. We've already talked a little bit about the Prince Harry interview that he did with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes. We also talked about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, the tell-all. We talked about Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip season forecast being revealed, but we didn't get a chance to talk about Below Deck or Family Karma. So just speaking of Family Karma, I do want to mention the ratings. Okay, so the ratings came out. Shout out to our friends over at TV Deets. They have the ratings for us. The ratings for Family Karma came out today. And what were the ratings? Oh, here we are. So Family Karma, this is episode 9. I really want a Family Karma reunion because I just feel like there's questions. So according to our friends over at TV Deets on Twitter, they report that the demo was 0.09. For people between the ages of 18 and 49, with 371,000 live viewers. This is really good for the show. If you look at their numbers and their history, they had a better week last week, but this is not bad for them. This is actually pretty good, especially when we talk about the Love and Marriage Huntsville numbers, when you compare the audiences. Okay, so Family Karma, 371,000 live viewers. Let's talk about this episode, though. So, Family Karma, we were already dealing with the Monica and Rishi fiasco and the cheating rumors. I still believe that Rishi's cheating. And I already know that they don't make it by the end of the season. We don't know what happens. Based on the preview, the mid-season trailer, which makes me love the show even more, we are seeing that he is possibly going to propose. Or maybe he's just going to ask her to live with him. And Rishi, why are you so damn cute and so damn terrible? Damn it. Risha and Vishal. So she decides to show up at the last minute. Okay, reality TV. Show up at the last minute, and she decides to sign her name on the deed. She doesn't have any responsibility. She didn't pay for anything, but she is signing her name on the deed, but she won't sign her name on legal documents to say that she's married to Vishal. And this is why I'm like, I can't, like, I wanted to ride with Risha this season, but she reminds me every time why I can't ride with her. I got it the last couple of weeks. I was like, you know what? If he has a drinking problem, he wants to go into couples therapy. I was like, are you going to go to AA first? Or at least to get at the same time as you going into couples therapy? Yes, you should do couples therapy, but you should also be going into AA because you admitted that you had an alcohol problem. This is why we need a reunion. And one of the things that I do love about this show, we get to see their traditional, just ceremonies and what they do when they move into a new home, the little ceremony that they did at Vishal's new home. We also got to see Brian again. He got a new car, a Tesla that farts every time you make a turn. I didn't even know you could do that with a Tesla. But this is why we look at you the way that we look at you, Brian. We look at you as immature at your big age of what is he? Is he 28 or 31? I can't remember now. No, 31. At your big age, why no woman can take you seriously? Because that's what you find hilarious with your big boy car. But I love seeing the priest bless the car. Just saying. Renita's watching from Brooklyn. What's going on, Renita? So we get to see that this episode. We also get to see the aunties cook off. That food looked amazing. All of it. We were watching the episode together on TikTok, and I was like, I want every single dish. I want to try every single dish. And I was like, why is everyone taking such small bites? Look, small little plates. No. But what we do get is some auntie drama. There's some auntie drama brewing. And look, sidebar, Rishma, the other Rishma, Bali's mom, First of all, Bali's story. I'm so glad we're getting more of Bali's story and what Bali's going through and the trauma that she's going through. She had to move out of her house because her ex-husband is saying, I'm not going to pay for this anymore if you want me to do this. He's trying to, hold this over her head. But she's been with O'Malley for a very long time. She doesn't want to move with O'Malley to the other state that he lives in because she wants, especially right now with everything she's going through, she wants to be around her family. Bali, I don't think that you would fit in anywhere besides Miami. You're a Miami lady. Some people want you on the Real Housewives of Miami. I like Bali. I don't know if I want her on the Real Housewives of Miami. I like her on Family Karma. And I'm glad we're getting more of her story, and I'm glad we're getting to see her parents. So Reshma, though, Vishal's mother, has some drama with Dharma, Brian's mother. And mind you, this drama really started between Reshma and Lopa. But because Dharma is good friends with Lopa, it's caused an issue between Dharma and Reshma. And I wasn't sure. At first, I was like, well, Dharma, you could be overreacting. You could be, involved yourself when you shouldn't involve yourself. But then I was reminded that Reshma, Vishal's mother, babies him. She makes excuses for his behavior. I also don't think she's the nicest person. I think a lot of people kind of look past it because Lopa didn't come across as the nicest person either. But now I'm thinking, no, Reshma, you were purposely ignoring Dharma. And I have to say, I've enjoyed Dharma more in this show than Reshma. She actually brings more. I love her relationship with Shitra. Finally, Anisha comes back. She's planning a big fashion show. I love how emotional she got, though, about, she's like, I launched this business right before the pandemic. The pandemic happened, so it really affected my business. I'm at a certain age. She's sort of like in this midlife crisis. Like, I'm at an age and like, this hasn't, made it. I felt for her. And I was like, I miss seeing Anisha on the show. And I'm glad we're getting a little bit more of her these next couple of episodes. And I love her mother. I love Shitra. And I love Shitra and Dharma's relationship. To me, those are like the real besties. I'm still thinking about the food. Anyone else? Maybe because I'm hungry. Might be. But I really like Dharma, and I'm Team Dharma on this one because I do believe that Reshma purposely ignored her. She's holding a grudge, maybe because of the relationship that Dharma has with Lopa. And I have to say, Lopa's grown on me. Her daughter, not so much, but Lopa's grown on me. Reshma, I feel like I don't know. But Family Karma has me engaged. Okay, let's talk about this. We still have a gay Indian wedding to look forward to. El Michelle says, Shitra and Dharma on a road trip. I'm here for it. Me too. Can we just do like a little one-off, spin-off something? I want to see that. Shitra and Dharma are hilarious. And I love these little random confessional moments that they just kind of fit into the episode that have nothing to do with what's going on in the episode. They're just their random thoughts. I love them. Soul Bomb Sister says, Bali is perfect where she is. Real Housewives of Miami is perfect as it is, but wouldn't be mad if they added Kiki. Okay, all right. Kiki wouldn't be mad either. All right. So Nicholas, woo, Nicholas, Amrit's fiance, now husband, I'm sure at this point. They're planning the wedding, but he comes from a very religious family. He talks about that. We're getting a lot more of Nicholas this season. And you can see Nicholas can't hold back his emotions. You can see it in his eyes. They start to get a little red around the eyes. So Nicholas talks, and I love his relationship with Amrit's parents. Can you imagine? Thank God Amrit's parents are so open-minded and so loving to both of them and treat them both like they're, like Nicholas is their kid too, because Nicholas is having a difficult time. The parents are saying they'll come to the wedding, but they don't want to be involved in any of the things. And I think to myself, and some people feel differently about this, and it's okay to feel differently. My thing is that just showing up is not showing support. Showing up and being a part of the festivities, to me, is really showing the support. I don't need you over there in a corner like this, because you might as well not be there. And I'm tired. Look, I'm tired of gay people just being appreciative that the parents don't burn them at the stake. No, that's not how you show real support. But he gets so emotional, he literally has to walk out of the room. And I said on Twitter, you don't get more real than that moment. But I love Amrit's mom and how she really wants to support him. And I love the fact that Nicholas is, look, sidebar. I love the fact that Nicholas is trying to learn how to cook Indian dishes so he can be the good husband to Amrit. To my future boo, please understand you must learn some Jamaican dishes. Please, just be a good cook, period. Because I don't want to cook. I mean, I can cook. I just don't want to cook. I cooked last night. I made some stewed chicken last night. I got some leftover. That's going to be dinner tonight. Sorry. See how excited I get about food? And that Indian food looks so good. It looked so good. But I felt for Nicholas. He had to walk out of the room. That's how bad it was. I felt for Nicholas, but I am so excited about this gay Indian wedding. I already know I'm going to be tearing up. I know it's going to be beautiful. And I'm wondering what the situation will be like when Nicholas' parents are at the wedding. But we also keep in mind, in all fairness, here I go twerking on the fence, this is also being filmed. And the parents, although they support Nicholas, they don't want to be on television showing that support. Then do you really support me? Just asking. All right. So those are my thoughts on Family Karma. If you're not watching it, get into it. It's actually a really fun, easy watch show. If you're looking for real TV and real reality TV, this is one of the rare shows that actually gives it to you, unlike 90 Day Fiancé. Okay? All right. Hold on. Let me see. I want to talk about the other ratings. So, again, shout out to our friends over at TV Jeets on Twitter. So the ratings for the Real Housewives of Potomac. So if you missed our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac yesterday, be sure to check that video out. So the ratings are out. So last week when we talked about the ratings for Potomac, they were like 700 and something thousand. This week, they've gone up. Okay, the demo was 0.25 between 18 and 49. And they are at 870,000 live viewers for Sunday night's episode. Not bad. Not bad. And this is episode 13. So we're like mid-season. All right? And Andy Cohen has been asking you guys for your questions for the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. So please be sure to send them in. I need to go read some of those questions that you guys are asking. Look. So not bad for Potomac. Not bad. It's not over 1 million. They were over 1 million a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what might be happening here. Again, we had the holidays. Maybe that played a part. Maybe people are getting back into it. I don't know. You will let me know in the comment section, live chat. Let me know. Why do you think the ratings are fluctuating that they are for Potomac? All right. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. As you know, we did a recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville on Sunday, so be sure to check out that recap on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Their ratings are up this week. TVD did a full report talking about their ratings for season 4 and season 5. And their ratings have stayed really within the same range between 300 and 500,000 viewers. It's fluctuated. Last week it was like 300 something thousand viewers. This week it actually went up on part 2. I'm actually surprised, but I'm not surprised. I told you, I think it's a bad idea to have your reunion on New Year's Eve. Because everyone, even if they're not going out, they're probably having at-home parties. They're not thinking about, and they're watching other shows, like the New Year's Eve specials that happen. They're not watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, especially if it's going to be the same drama. So the ratings have gone up this week for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Their demo was 0.11, and the live viewers were 461,000 viewers. Okay, so not bad. Not bad. So congratulations to them. Was there any other ratings that I wanted to talk about? I actually was surprised at this. The episode of Watch What Happens Live with Ashley Darby for their new season had almost 300,000 viewers, which is huge for Andy Cohen. We haven't recapped or really talked at length about the Real Housewives of Durban, though, but the new photos for season 3 have come out, and I have to say, it's quite gorgeous. Let me actually pull this up so you guys can see it. Because, I know we have quite a few people in South Africa that watch us, in Africa in general, that watch us, and I know you want me to talk about Durban. I said I started trying to get into Durban, and then I just couldn't keep up because of everything else that was happening. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. Just saying. But this photo of them, they look gorgeous. Let me show this photo. Look at them. Gorgeous. I might have to get back into it so I can talk about season 3. Bravo did release the episodes for season 1. They were releasing like 3 episodes every Friday. So I'm sure now it's probably on Peacock, so you can watch it there. Just saying. Tutu says, we submit those questions for the reunion. Yeah, you can submit questions on Andy Cohen's Twitter for the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. They're set to film that very soon. Usually he asks us, like 2 weeks before? So that's coming up. I'm actually honestly ready for the season to kind of wrap up because I'm like, what else do we have here? And I'm ready for Candace to confront Giselle about the whole rumors and Ashley about these rumors. All right. So shout out to the ladies of the Real Housewives of Durban. Their season 3 is coming. On February 1st on Showmax. That's not available here in the States, but I think you can watch it on Hey You though. All right. If I'm not wrong. So season 3 is coming and they look amazing. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Real Housewives of Durban. We've been live, guys, for over 2 hours. I appreciate you all taking time out of your day to be here, but I'm not done. I'm not done. What was the other show that I wanted to talk about? We talked about Family Karma. There was another. Oh, Below Deck. Damn, I'm sorry, Below Deck. Damn. I forgot. There's not a lot for me to say about Below Deck. I'm enjoying the season so far more than Below Deck Adventure. We'll talk more about Below Deck Adventure on Thirsty Thursday. But Fraser, you're bringing it. I love your commentary. The guests that happened this week. First of all, what a perfect segue from Family Karma to this because these were like Indian guests. Chef Rachel, she continuously surprises me, like with like her knowledge, her experiences, where she's been. She started talking a little Hindi in this episode. But the guests didn't love her food. I'm just saying, you can't. That's like, trying to cook Jamaican food. You're not Jamaican, but you're trying to cook Jamaican food for Jamaican people. And they're like, but these guests were a little challenging. Captain Sandy, I wasn't sure about her and her over involvement and micromanaging of the crew, but I kind of like it because she's not willing, she's willing to get her hands dirty. I like her so far. I don't love her, but I like her so far. I still miss our Captain Lee. Fraser, when the guests were leaving the boat, and he's like, "Bye." I hate these people. Fraser, I love him. Fraser, I like him as a chief stew. Is he like our girl Kate Chastain? No, but I like him as a chief stew. Camille. Camille is a mess. At first in this episode, Camille is, first of all, she's having a breakdown and she's telling Alyssa to get out of the room. Get out of the room. Mind you, Alyssa's doing her job and she's telling her to get out of the room like she's telling her to get out of her own room. She's like, just get out of here. She is unhinged. Camille is unhinged. So Camille seems as if she's showing up and doing what she needs to do. And then, of course, Camille falls right back into not doing what she needs to do. And that's the thing with people like Camille. It's always going to be the same. If she's lazy, she's going to be lazy. She'll show up maybe for a hot second and do the work, but it's not going to be consistent. All in one episode, though, she shows up and she's not doing the work, but she is falling in love. She's falling in love with Ben, and Ben is falling in love with her. At one point, Ben refers to her, you look like a wet rat. I was like, and when you looked at her, you're like, she kind of does look like a wet rat. But he loves that wet rat. Okay. I don't even care about their love story. Tony's upset because he's like, the bosun is telling him, Ross is telling him, maybe you should sleep instead of getting up at 4 something in the morning. He's like, well, you don't want to see me if I don't do, my workout in the morning. So we're starting to see some issues with him. Haley's just there to have a good time. I like Haley's energy. Bring her back. She's a lot of fun. She's funny. She doesn't want to get involved in the issues between Alyssa and Camille. But I think Alyssa, a little bit of a troublemaker, but she's also doing her job. You know what I mean? Why did Captain Sandy drop those people off at that beach? But Captain Sandy says there really are no proper beaches in St. Lucia. Really? So St. Lucia, because I always hear St. Lucia is gorgeous. Is St. Lucia just gorgeous from the mountainsides and things like that? It has nothing to do with their beaches. I want to ask. I don't want to trust Captain Sandy on this situation. I want to hear from people that actually live there. Are there some beautiful beaches, and did they just set us up for us to have a moment so we can laugh and kiki about them hanging out on this? I don't know what to call that. So, damn, Katie is there. I forgot about Katie. Katie's the one who's having the love affair with Ross, the bosun. I forgot Katie was there. Sorry, Katie. I mean, not everybody can be a star. Camille is bringing it this season. She's a hot mess, lazy. But Alyssa's also a star, too, because she's calling out the lazy. And Haley's just there to be funny. She doesn't want to even get involved. And these guests, finally, we have some charter guests that are interesting and rude. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on Below Deck. I want to know your thoughts on Family Karma. I want to know your thoughts on anything that we talked about, including the Prince Harry interview and his new book. Are you reading it? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what some of the callers had to say? I didn't expect to be live this long, but look, we made the time. We made the time, guys. As always, thank you all for being here. Let me take this down. We're going to get out of here with some music, per usual. Thank you to... Oh, wait. Before we go, we have Super Chat. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I forgot. And thank you so much for the Super Chat. Ann says, will not watch the docu series. However, Meg is not the victim she's portraying, nor is the British press people as evil. Meghan was celebrated in the UK. From my British viewpoint, her Americanness did her in, not race. Okay. Soul Bomb Sister says, thank you for the Super Chat. Soul Bomb Sister says, thank you for your great work. You need to be the new Wendy Williams. You are good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I'd like to be the new Kempire. Jersey Girl, thank you so much for the Super Chat. She says, Harry was Queen Elizabeth II's favorite because her own father was the spare heir. We forget that history. They definitely had a very close relationship. Maxine, thank you so much for the Super Chat. We appreciate you as well. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. We appreciate you all being a part of the show and keeping the lights on here. Thank you to our King's Guards, aka our moderators. We appreciate you as well. Thank you to everyone for being here and for liking the video. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. It helps the channel, but it also helps your channel. Those of you that are watching in the bushes, we appreciate you watching. They do say imitation is the best form of flattery. Hilarious. Guys, be sure to like the video. All these other new content creators will start to show up on your algorithm as well because you liked this particular video. There are millions of people on YouTube every day creating different kinds of content. And it's not necessarily just content like what I create. It's sometimes different content, things that you might be interested in, things like I'm interested in, like real estate, like decor, those different things. All right. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Don't forget, Thursday is Thirsty Thursday, so something very similar to Tuesday Takeover, but it's more focused on some reality TV talk and reality TV news. Everyone, have a great rest of your afternoon. I will see you all in the next video. All right? Bye, everyone. Bye. Let's get out of here.
You mess this up like you always do.